In recent years, China has been pushing to transport thousands of construction equipment and agricultural machinery into the desert. Can you guess what China is planning? Many people think that they are planning to build a military base, but in fact, their purpose is much bigger. That is to turn the desert into agricultural land. Wow! It sounds crazy, right? However, China has been carrying out this goal for more than 4 decades and has surprised the world. Let's explore this great goal of China. Thousands of machines are sent to the desert. China wants to do the craziest thing ever. According to recent statistics, drylands, including vast deserts, account for 41.3% of the Earth's total land area. Imagine what would happen if a large amount of this desert land could be converted into fertile, arable land. This is a particularly important issue for China, which has a total land area of 3.5 million square miles, but only 12% of it is arable. Therefore, they have been carrying out an unimaginable ambition, which is to reclaim the desert and turn sandy soil into fertile land, in order to expand agricultural areas to the harshest place in the world. In recent times, China and some countries with large desert areas such as Pakistan have carried out a number of cooperation projects to develop desert agriculture. Many innovative projects have been carried out to promote agricultural development in desert areas. China has actively introduced machinery into its desert areas to combat desertification and improve agricultural productivity. Industrial machines bulldozed and leveled the areas with many high and low spots. Because of the large area, sometimes thousands of machines had to work at the same time. After the leveling, the regional government mobilized local farmers to reclaim the desert by planting trees. Trees act as windbreaks and prevent desertification. Not only bringing machinery into the desert, the Chinese government also invested heavily in installing electrical equipment and water systems to serve farming and irrigation. In the Kabuki Desert, Chinese companies have deployed an agroelectric system that combines agriculture with solar energy production. This method involves installing solar panels that create shade, reduce soil evaporation, and create a more favorable environment for crop growth. The electricity generated supports agricultural activities, promoting sustainable farming practices in desert areas. China has launched a 5-year action plan 2024 to 2028 to modernize its agricultural sector, aiming to increase domestic food production. The initiative includes incorporating big data, GPS positioning systems, and artificial intelligence into farming processes, reducing costs, increasing efficiency, and boosting productivity across various agricultural sectors. developing agriculture in the desert is one of the biggest goals. Today, desertification has become one of the biggest goals in China, aiming to transform land in arid regions into fertile farmland, significantly improving China's food security. In addition, these projects can create jobs, stimulate local economies, and benefit local communities. After nearly 4 decades of implementation, China has curbed the spread of desertification, helped prevent sandstorms and soil erosion, conserved water and soil, and protected agriculture in the region. Studies have also shown that if the project goes well, an estimated 35 million hectares of land is expected to be converted to forest by 2050, increasing the area of cultivated land by up to 25%, thereby increasing food production. The Chinese government also claims this is the world's largest reforestation initiative. China is also proud of its achievements, with more than 7.88 million hectares of windbreaks planted, 336,200 square kilometers of desertification reforested, and more than 10 million hectares of grassland protected or restored. At the same time, grass and forest cover in the Lus Plateau has increased by about 60%, and the amount of silt deposited in the Yellow River has decreased significantly. NASA satellite images confirm that forest cover has increased in China over the past 20 years thanks to various conservation efforts by the Chinese government. With its efforts to reclaim the desert, China has become one of the leading countries in this activity, contributing to the protection of the environment and ecosystem in the areas surrounding the desert. Our video ends here. How do you feel about China's project?
Welcome to our channel. Today, we will explore a traditional Chinese village where handmade charcoal production has existed for centuries. Traditional charcoal production not only brings income to farmers, but also crystallizes the culture of ancient villages. Don't take your eyes off the video to not miss interesting information. Charcoal making in China has existed for a long time, an indispensable part of the culture and life of many villages. Before gas became popular, every household had to rely on wood or charcoal to make fire. Today, although the demand for charcoal has decreased, the charcoal making profession still exists, thanks to the passion of those who want to preserve the tradition. The characteristic of traditional charcoal making villages is that the charcoal kiln is built of bricks or stones, forming a solid dome shape. The charcoal kiln consists of two main parts, the combustion chamber and the smoldering chamber, connected by heat pipes. The gaps in the kiln must be fixed and sealed with mud. The charcoal kiln must also have a kiln door to put in raw materials and take out charcoal, along with a chimney to discharge smoke and dissipate heat. To protect the kiln body from damage by rain and wind, farmers will arrange the kiln house and cover it above. To create quality charcoal products, choosing the type of wood is a prerequisite. Hardwood is often preferred because it produces high-quality charcoal. For example, acacia charcoal, popular in early Taiwan, is suitable for spicy grilled dishes such as wild boar. Longan charcoal, which is hard and dense, can maintain a long burning time, is smokeless at high temperatures, and has a light fruity smell. Mahogany charcoal, which is often used for seafood, is also harder and burns longer. Oak charcoal can be stored for a long time and has many uses such as fuel, grilling food, dehumidifying, etc. Finally, bamboo charcoal, which is porous and has strong absorption, is used to remove dirt, prevent moisture, and deodorize. After being cut into short pieces, the wood is left to dry for a period of time. The small branches will be used as fuel to burn the charcoal. Once prepared, the wood is moved into the kiln and stacked tightly inside. The stacking of the wood requires careful attention to ensure even heat conduction during the burning process. This is a laborious task, as the farmer has to transport a lot of wood to fill this giant kiln. The kiln door is then sealed with bricks and mud, leaving only a small opening for the fire to be lit. The kiln will burn continuously for several days, depending on the type of wood and how dry the tree is. Some types of wood only take about 10 days to turn into charcoal, while mangrove wood can take up to 32 days. During this time, the farmer must maintain the fire 24 hours a day to ensure the charcoal burning process goes smoothly. The charcoal burning process requires careful observation. The smoke from the kiln will gradually change from black to gray, white, clear blue, and smokeless. This is when the fire must be stopped and the kiln sealed to allow the carbonization process to take place. After that, it takes about 2 weeks for the kiln to cool naturally before the workers can take out the coal. The whole process from starting the kiln to taking out the coal takes about 30 to 45 days. When the kiln is opened, the temperature inside is usually very high. The working environment is extremely harsh, hot, and dusty. The coal after being taken out needs to be screened, because not every batch produces good quality coal. Too big a fire will lead to too much carbonization, while too small a fire will not be enough to completely carbonize. If the coal core is dark, yellow, and bright, it means that the carbonization process is complete and the quality is good. On the contrary, dark gray indicates that the wood is not completely carbonized and is prone to producing black smoke, resulting in poor quality coal. Every step in the process requires meticulousness and precision. from maintaining the temperature in the kiln to checking the color and the quality of the charcoal. Charcoal production not only brings income to the people, but also has a significant impact on the environment. These craft villages often develop sustainably by planting new trees to replace the ones that have been exploited. The charcoal market is still very vibrant, with many demands from culinary and industrial uses. However, the focus needs to be on protecting the environment and finding ways to reduce emissions. Although the advent of modern technology and equipment has greatly affected the traditional charcoal production profession, many charcoal kilns still exist as cultural icons and tourist attractions.
Hola! Hola! And ¿qué pasa? All right, we're gonna sing, okay? Old.
Welcome to today's video. Have you ever imagined that you could talk to a bird? This is not a science fiction story, but a reality that is happening at parrot farms. How can farmers take care of, breed, and teach parrots to speak the human language? Is it easy? Let's discover this secret in today's video. Parrots have always fascinated many people with their colorful feathers and incredible intelligence. Today, parrots are the third most popular companion animals in the United States. However, not all parrots can talk. Only a few species of parrots have this ability, such as African gray parrots, macaw parrots, and Amazon parrots. Raising parrots is not only a hobby, but has become an important economic source for many families. Parrot farms are increasingly developing, helping farmers earn millions of dollars each year. The scarcity of talking parrots further increases their economic value. Parrots that have been trained and can talk can be worth up to $4,000 or more. Parrot farms need to ensure certain requirements, such as being built in quiet, safe areas away from loud noises and stressors for the birds. Depending on the size of the farm, it can be set up indoors in a dedicated bird cage or on a private plot of land. Although kept in captivity, parrots still have wild instincts, so they need a comfortable space that resembles nature. The parrot raising space needs to have enough tools such as perches, toys, swings to stimulate the parrot's mind and body. This space must also always ensure hygiene, provide enough food, and monitor the parrot's health and behavior. One of the most important aspects of a parrot farm is breeding and producing healthy parrots. Breeding pairs will be paired separately to ensure compatibility during breeding. Some species can exhibit territorial or aggressive behavior towards certain individuals, so creating compatible pairs can improve the chances of successful mating, egg laying, and raising of young. For pairing, parrots should be given a thorough health check by a veterinarian to ensure there are no genetic or inbreeding problems. Diet is also important, including high-quality food, fresh fruits, vegetables, and occasional treats. During the breeding season, parrots need extra vitamins and minerals. Breeding parrots can suffer from a number of health problems, including respiratory infections, feather plucking, and blocked eggs in females. Regular health checks and maintaining a clean cage will help prevent and resolve these problems. After pairing, parrots are placed in a separate breeding cage. The cage should be spacious, safe, and comfortable. The nest box provides a safe space for the females to lay eggs and should be designed to be easily accessible and clean. The breeding environment should mimic the natural environment to encourage breeding behavior and provide nesting materials such as wood chips or leaves to make the nest box more attractive. When the pair shows signs of readiness, the keeper should closely monitor their behavior. A stress-free and low-disturbance environment helps parrots mate, lay eggs, and hatch successfully. In some cases, the keeper may need to use artificial incubation with proper temperature, humidity, and ventilation. When the chicks hatch, they are very fragile and need careful care. A warm, safe, and nutritious environment is essential. The chicks need a special diet and early socialization to develop positive relationships with humans. So, how do these parrots speak the human language? This process is not easy and requires a lot of time and effort. Parrots need to be bonded to their owners from a young age. The best way to encourage your parrot to talk is to choose a few short words to start with. Simple words, when spoken with enthusiasm, seem more interesting to most parrots. In addition, parrot owners also need to repeat words or phrases frequently so that the parrot learns to imitate. Parrots do not have a brain programmed like humans, so the process of training them to speak human language is not simple. Owners and parrot trainers need to be patient. When teaching parrots to speak, they often reward them with food when they cooperate.
Can you do a red wolf?
Teaching them to speak the human language is just like teaching children.
Can you fall down?
There is no set time to train a parrot to talk.
Did
They
that
can
hurt?
start talking after about 6 months
Can you do
or
a
1
cat?
year, or they may
How about
never
a dog?
talk
Can
at
you
all.
bark?
This will depend
And
on
shoot
the
the lasers?
relationship between the
Can you
owner
do
and the
water?
parrot, or the personality of the individual
And can you help me call the
bird.
dogs? Good.
Peekaboo! Club club. Come here, sweetie. Up. Want a treat? You just so good. Yeah. You're so pretty.
In recent years, large commercial farms have sprung up, producing more and more parrots to sell as pets. South Africa is now the world's leading exporter of parrots. The country has exported more than 1 million parrots of more than 120 species since 2020, mainly to countries in the Middle East and South Asia. Commercial parrot farms can raise thousands of parrots in cages for mass export. Common and endangered species such as gray parrots, military macaws, and yellow-crested cockatoos are also being bred and sold. However, large-scale parrot farming also raises ethical issues. Farms need to ensure good living conditions for parrots and comply with regulations on parrot conservation in the wild. Without favorable natural resources for agricultural development, Israel is the only country capable of turning deserts into arable land, growing crops, and raising livestock, even changing the world's agriculture. So, what has turned a country full of deserts into the most modern agricultural granary in the world? It is even likened to the world's Silicon Valley in the agricultural sector. So, today, let's explore agricultural production activities in Israel to see how the agricultural economy in this region has developed. Israel is a small country with an area of over 20,000 kilometers squared, of which desert accounts for 70% of the territory. The rest are bare rocky hills with an extremely harsh climate. This area is inherently unsuitable for farming and raising livestock. But now, the whole world is surprised because Israel has created a miracle to turn the yellow sands of the desert into a green color full of life. So, what measures have the people of Israel adopted to transform their agricultural economy and compete with other agricultural powers? In fact, Israel has taken advantage of mountainous areas and harsh climates to develop power plants from solar energy, which is a clean and eternal source of energy. These energy sources are applied in life and agricultural production. Therefore, a lot of other resources such as water are saved. The water sources in the desert in Israel are only used for growing plants. The most popular crop grown in the Israeli desert is the cherry tomato, which is exported to many other parts of the world. Today, Israeli farmers are also developing newer varieties of tomatoes to increase yields. In addition to tomatoes, you will be amazed by the olive groves, vegetables, and many other crops that are adapted to the desert conditions. In the Judean desert region just north of the Dead Sea, agriculture is even more advanced. Farmers use the minerals found in the soil and sand to train crops to grow vigorously. The crops that are exported to many countries and considered to be the best in the world are onions and basil. To develop a strong agricultural sector, Israel invests more in agriculture than any other region in the world. Each year, the country invests nearly $100 million in agricultural research, accounting for about 3% of the country's total agricultural output. Scientists at the centers not only study drought resistance in plants, but also create new varieties of vegetables and crops with high yields, as well as biological control methods and pest control that use less chemicals. According to statistics, with only 2.5% of Israel's population working in agriculture, the country exports about $3.5 billion worth of agricultural products each year, and is one of the world's leading agricultural exporters. In addition to farming, Israel is also famous for its dairy industry, which is the most productive in the world. Hundreds of dairy farms across the desert use cooling systems to ensure the health of the cows. Animal feed is mainly imported and supplemented from agricultural crops, thanks to which the production of cow's milk is of the best quality, with a much higher protein content than other types of milk. Camel farms for meat and milk are also common in Israel, but what surprises us is the modern and large-scale chicken farms that are no less than those in the US and Europe. With modern air filtration and cooling systems, Israel produces thousands of tons of chicken meat each year, contributing to the enrichment of food sources for people across the country. Not only raising poultry and livestock, Israel also surprises people with an aquaculture system right in the desert. Fish is a source of protein for hundreds of millions of people around the world, but it is severely limited by natural conditions and water resources. However, this is no longer an obstacle for Israel as the land is fertile. The vast desert is not only used to grow normal crops, but also used by Israeli people to raise aquatic products, develop large fish farms, and bring in a lot of income for this country. Israel's desert fish farming system uses highly saline seawater, which they pump through the ground into fish tanks. In particular, the system uses bacteria developed to clean the tanks as well as pathogens in the fish, leaving virtually no waste in the ponds and no need to change the water. Israel has begun to increase its collection of sea fish for export to countries around the world, mainly the European region. Have you ever seen mantis shrimp raised in plastic cages? It sounds strange, but this is an extremely effective mantis shrimp farming model in Vietnam. With this method, after only 3 to 4 months, farmers can harvest commercial shrimp and sell it for about 50 USD per kilogram. So, what makes this model successful? Let's find out in this video. Mantis shrimp is a food with high nutritional value, providing protein, vitamins, and minerals that are beneficial to the body. In Vietnamese cuisine, mantis shrimp is processed into many diverse dishes with delicious and attractive flavors. Therefore, the demand for mantis shrimp in Vietnam is very high. Consumers are willing to pay from $50 to $80 or more for 1 kilogram. In addition, the natural climate conditions in Vietnam are very suitable for raising mantis shrimp, creating high-quality products. Therefore, the mantis shrimp farming model has brought a stable and sustainable source of income to farmers. In Vietnam, mantis shrimp are mainly exploited and caught in the wild, and their numbers are seriously declining. Previously, there were some models of shrimp farming in earthen ponds, but the efficiency was not high. Therefore, they researched and developed a new model of mantis shrimp farming, which is more efficient. Mantis shrimp farming models are mainly developed in the southern provinces of Vietnam, especially Ca Mau. Mantis shrimp can be raised in tanks or cages in brackish water environments. These innovative models have helped optimize space and create the best conditions for shrimp growth. The model of raising mantis shrimp in plastic cages allows shrimp to grow naturally in brackish water environments. Plastic cages are fixed in brackish water river areas, ensuring the best living conditions for shrimp. This is an easy-to-raise shrimp species that does not require much food because they can completely find natural food themselves. However, farmers need to clean the cages regularly to ensure a clean environment for shrimp to grow. In addition, the indoor mantis shrimp farming model uses a recirculating water system, RAS, or H-Harpax, has also proven its advantages. This model allows mantis shrimp farmers to raise on an industrial scale, regardless of the pond. Shrimp are raised in small boxes or in moderately sized tanks. During the farming process, there is no need to change the water too much, and no use of toxic chemicals or antibiotics for shrimp. Shrimp feed is mainly fresh food such as trash fish, helping to ensure the growth rate of mantis shrimp. In addition, the indoor mantis shrimp farming model uses a recirculating water system, RAS, or H-Harpax, has also proven its advantages. This model allows mantis shrimp farmers to raise on an industrial scale, regardless of the pond. Shrimp are raised in small boxes or in moderately sized tanks. During the farming process, there is no need to change the water too much, and no use of toxic chemicals or antibiotics for shrimp. Shrimp feed is mainly fresh food such as trash fish, helping to ensure the growth rate of mantis shrimp. When raised in a system without bottom mud, the quality of commercial shrimp is delicious, bright in color, and is favored by consumers. According to analysis, food hygiene and safety standards when raising mantis shrimp in this way meet 100% of Vietnamese standards. The H-Harpax system includes shrimp farming cells measuring 40 by 30 by 17 centimeters with a maximum capacity of 8 liters, neatly arranged, connected to a circulation device and a water treatment system. After treatment, the water will be returned to the farming tank, forming a closed cycle. This also reduces the amount of wastewater discharged directly into the environment, creating a sustainable farming model. The success rate of raising mantis shrimp according to the new model is 80 to 90%. After about 4 months, they have reached commercial size, over 150 grams per shrimp, and can be supplied to the market. According to the report, the recirculating farming technology can bring economic efficiency of about $500 per 1,000 shrimp or crop. Mantis shrimp are currently sold at high prices in the market, especially in large urban areas. With quality mantis shrimp products, the selling price ranges from $50 to $80 per kilogram. Some giant mantis shrimp cost up to $100 per kilogram or more. The profit that this model brings has helped farmers have a significant income. Although the initial investment cost is also relatively high due to the need to install equipment, in the long term, this model still brings high economic efficiency. Compared with traditional farming models, mantis shrimp farming models on modern farms have brought many great advantages. Raising mantis shrimp according to the new model not only brings economic efficiency, but also helps protect the environment. The shrimp farming system has a circulating water treatment system, thereby limiting waste discharge into the environment. However, the mantis shrimp farming industry in Vietnam is also facing certain difficulties. Currently, mantis shrimp breeds are only caught in the natural environment and have not been artificially researched, so the number of breeds cannot meet the demand when this model develops. With the large demand of the market, the mantis shrimp farming industry will have many opportunities to develop in the future. Therefore, modern farming models are the best way to optimize profits for farmers. However, the mantis shrimp farming industry in Vietnam is also facing certain difficulties. Currently, mantis shrimp breeds are only caught in the natural environment and have not been artificially researched, so the number of breeds cannot meet the demand when this model develops. With the large demand of the market, the mantis shrimp farming industry will have many opportunities to develop in the future. Therefore, modern farming models are the best way to optimize profits for farmers. How to manage a herd of thousands of cows? This is a question that any farm owner wants to have an answer to because raising a large herd of cows is not easy and very costly. To solve this situation, some cattle farmers in the US have found a bold but extremely effective solution. So, right now, let's explore with us the most modern cattle raising method of American farmers. There are over 28 million cattle in the United States, many of which roam freely across vast tracts of land in the American West. Managing large numbers of cattle roaming thousands of acres is not an easy task, as it is time-consuming and requires a lot of physical effort. Traditional methods of herding, such as horseback riding, are ineffective, as farmers must spend hours moving cattle between grazing areas, monitoring each animal, and ensuring none stray or get hurt. To meet these challenges, American farmers have begun to use helicopters as a tool to manage their free-range cattle. After a period of applying helicopters to herd cattle, American farmers have realized the advantages that this method brings. First, helicopters can cover large areas of land in a fraction of the time it would take with other methods. This is especially useful when monitoring cattle in difficult terrain such as mountains, forests, or wetlands. With a bird's eye view, American farmers can get a bird's eye view of the landscape and monitor the status of their cattle, directing them to specific pasture areas. One of the most essential things when raising free-range cattle is precision. Helicopters have used GPS technology, allowing farmers to see the entire herd and predict potential problems, such as when the herd moves too far or some animals stray from the herd. In addition, aerial observation also helps farmers detect sick or injured cows. Early detection can prevent spread disease in the herd and ensure sick cows received prompt veterinary care. Many people think that using helicopters for livestock farming is very expensive because it requires a large initial cost for many farmers. But the long-term benefits make it a valuable tool for large-scale livestock farming operations. With just a one-time investment, American farmers can use helicopters for a long time and save on labor costs, thus reaping profits in the long run. Furthermore, the ability to manage the herd quickly and accurately also ensures healthier, safer, and more productive animals. Healthy cows produce better quality meat and milk, which increases farm profits. Once the cows are ready for slaughter, they are gathered by helicopter to staging areas and transported to the meat processing plant. The cows are inspected before slaughter to ensure they are healthy. Inside the processing plant is a systematic and strictly managed process, ensuring that beef products are safe for consumers. Animals are humanely anesthetized before slaughter, minimizing stress, be straightforward, and ensure compliance with ethical standards. After the slaughtering process, each beef carcass is cut in half by machine and chilled for 34 to 48 hours to cool and prevent bacteria from growing. This process helps preserve the freshness and quality of the meat. After 48 hours, the beef carcass is divided into main parts such as ribs, loin, and shoulder, and the beef bones are also removed. Skilled meat cutters or automated machines will carefully separate the meat from the bones, ensuring precise cuts. The beef is then graded based on a number of factors, including marbling, color, and tenderness. Higher grades are often sold as premium cuts, while others may be processed into sausages, bacon, or lunch meat. The final step in the processing plant is packaging, where the beef is vacuum sealed to extend its shelf life or sold fresh. The beef is then transported to grocery stores or supermarkets before reaching consumers. Throughout the processing process, hygiene is paramount, so equipment needs to be cleaned regularly and workers need to follow strict procedures to prevent contamination and ensure the highest quality products reach consumers. This also makes American beef products prestigious in the international market. What if a cow was taxed? It may sound like a joke, but it's actually happening in Denmark. Lawmakers in the country have announced plans to tax farmers if their cows emit a certain amount of methane. The policy is aimed at addressing the negative impact of livestock on the environment, especially when they emit large amounts of methane, which contributes to the greenhouse effect. Livestock farming is one of the world's most polluting industries, particularly in terms of greenhouse gas emissions. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, in 2015, the livestock sector alone contributed about 12% of man-made greenhouse gas emissions. Denmark, in particular, is one of the world's largest cattle producers. A quarter of the country's greenhouse gas emissions come from agriculture, more than any other sector. According to research, a cow in Denmark can emit 6 tons of CO2 equivalent per year, so the government of this country needs to take measures to reduce emissions from livestock farming. Accordingly, lawmakers in Denmark have come up with the idea of taxing farmers based on the methane emissions from their livestock. The aim is to encourage farmers to adopt emission reduction measures. This tax could be charged per capita depending on the amount of methane emitted. Dairy cows burp more due to their diet, so the tax would be higher than beef cattle. The tax would aim to reduce 70% of greenhouse gas emissions in 2030 compared to 1990. Accordingly, by 2030, Danish cattle farmers will be taxed at $43 per ton of carbon dioxide equivalent, rising to $108 by 2035. However, due to a 60% income tax deduction, the actual cost per ton will start at $17.30 and rise to $43 by 2035. This bill has only just been proposed by leaders in Denmark and has not yet been put into practice, because this tax has a direct impact on the economy of livestock farmers. But if the project is implemented and successful, it will have many great benefits. Researchers predict that the tax will cut the country's emissions by 1.8 million tons of carbon dioxide equivalent by 2030. And of course, if successful, it will certainly bring about a major change in global animal agriculture, bringing about a whole new livestock industry with a more sustainable goal. Denmark is the first country to do so, targeting a major source of methane, one of the most potent gases contributing to global warming. And it is also the first country to hold cows accountable for their carbon emissions. To avoid the tax, cattle farmers are encouraged to use feed additives to make dietary changes that reduce the amount of methane their cattle emit. Substances such as seaweed, oil, or tannins in the cattle's diet to reduce the amount of methane released from digestion. Farmers also provide easily digestible feed that reduces fermentation in the cow's stomach, resulting in less methane production, emit more methane. Additionally, farms can adopt advanced technologies such as methane capture equipment or biogas plants to minimize the release of these gases into the environment. On pasture farms, cows need to be rotated to maintain soil carbon levels and improve grass growth, helping to reduce overall emissions. Healthier pasture quality can help cows burn more carbon, better digestion, and reduced methane emissions. Researchers can also use genetic engineering techniques to create livestock that emit less methane. In particular, selecting dairy cows not only helps reduce emissions, but also improves the quality of the animal's milk. Denmark is one of the countries with the largest dairy production industry in the world. In livestock farms, effective waste treatment systems are needed to prevent emissions such as nitrous oxide and methane. Manure needs to be collected in a designated area and treated quickly, such as biogas production. This method not only utilizes livestock waste, but also creates sustainable gas products. Combining these measures with sustainable agricultural policies and technologies could significantly reduce emissions while maintaining food production and the economic viability of livestock farming. Did you know that garlic was once shunned by British and American cultures because its pungent smell lingered even after meals? However, by the late 1900s, the United States had emerged as the garlic capital of the world. About 24,000 acres of garlic were grown each year, yielding a total of about 400 million pounds. Large-scale factories and farms were once the pride of their country. So, what happened to the industry? Why did the million-dollar garlic factories close? Join me in today's video to find out the truth. The story of garlic in America begins in the early 1890s, when immigrants from Southern Europe arrived in California's Santa Clara Valley. With fertile soil and a mild climate, garlic quickly became a staple in vegetable gardens. However, it wasn't until early 1929 that commercial garlic cultivation really took off, and the largest garlic farms were born. The garlic industry has emerged as a national phenomenon, bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue for farmers. California is the largest producer of garlic in the United States, with 90% of the country's garlic grown and processed here. The smell of garlic wafts through the towns, so you can easily recognize this as a large-scale garlic processing area. In the United States, garlic is usually planted in the fall, in carefully plowed and prepared raised beds. The timing of planting is extremely important. Plant early enough so that the soil does not freeze before the root system develops, but late enough that they do not emerge from the ground. According to statistics, There are hundreds of varieties of garlic grown in the United States, but the most common on farms are California Early and California Late. The garlic cloves will be planted about 1.5 inches deep. On large-scale farms, garlic planting is mainly done with specialized transplanters, which optimizes time and effort. Garlic takes about 9 months to grow and is ready to harvest when 40 to 60% of the leaves turn yellow, usually around mid-July. On some farms, garlic can be harvested by hand, but modern farms today often use automated machinery for greater efficiency. From the field, garlic is cleaned and transported to the processing plant, where sorting and packaging take place. Typically, garlic is sold by the pound, by the vine, or by the bulb. However, dried garlic accounts for about 75% of garlic consumed in the United States, so dried garlic processing plants are becoming more popular. Modern high-capacity machinery ensures that garlic is supplied to both domestic and export markets. One of the largest and most famous garlic producers in the United States is Gilroy, California. It even holds an annual garlic festival to celebrate this valuable crop. And you may not know it, April 19th is that anniversary. While once the garlic capital of the world, the US garlic industry has lost that status. By 1990, Chinese garlic had flooded the US market with about 60 million pounds. This imported garlic was about 4 times cheaper than American garlic, which severely affected the industry. Although the US government raised tariffs to curb the impact of Chinese garlic, many garlic farms closed. Half of California's largest garlic packing plants have disappeared in the past decade. In just a few months, the amount of cheap garlic imported into the United States is nearly equal to the annual production of Christopher Ranch, the largest garlic packing plant in the country. In addition, a shortage of workers has caused garlic farms to shrink. Therefore, their only solution to this problem is to increase wages for workers. This also leads to increased labor costs, affecting profits and decisions to develop farms. All these factors have pushed large-scale garlic farms and factories in the United States into an unprecedented, difficult situation. The garlic industry in the United States is no longer as dominant as it once was. But in this situation, farmers still find a ray of hope. New directions have been implemented to increase profits, as the average American consumes 2.5 pounds of garlic per year. One of the most popular trends today is organic garlic production. With health awareness and changing consumption habits, consumers are increasingly paying attention to the quality and safety of products. Therefore, many farms are also applying organic garlic growing techniques to meet this demand. Therefore, there are special garlic products priced up to $1 per bulb. In addition, increasing modern machinery and equipment and reducing labor are also effective ways to increase productivity and limit costs. Farms are gradually focusing on product quality. It is predicted that garlic production in the United States will continue to increase in the coming years. This is a positive signal for garlic factories to recover and develop in the future. Do you think the US garlic production and processing industry will regain its glory? Please share your opinion in the comments section. Have you ever seen any kind of wood ear that is yellow like these flowers? This is a relatively rare wood ear and is considered a specialty in the Yunnan region. Its nutritional value is even compared to deer antlers and ginseng. Thanks to this golden fungus, thousands of farmers in Yunnan have developed their economy and become rich quickly. So, today, let's explore with us how farmers do it, rich from golden fungus. Golden ear mushroom are widely distributed throughout the world, from Europe, Asia, and America. In China, they mainly grow in the wild in high-altitude areas such as Tibet, Shaanxi, or Sichuan, and are listed as vulnerable species in the Chinese Red Book. Golden ear mushrooms in the wild are relatively rare and expensive, costing up to 2,000 yuan, about $400 per kilogram of dried product. Nowadays, it is very difficult to find golden ear mushrooms in the wild, so farmers in Yunnan have developed this mushroom on farms and successfully increased their income from them. So, what are the methods of golden ear mushroom? Golden ear mushroom has a short growth cycle, can usually be grown by bag cultivation method, can be planted in spring and autumn of the year. Farmers usually plant from October and harvest in March of the following year. Farms typically golden ear mushrooms spawn inside greenhouses that are controlled for optimal humidity and temperature, creating ideal conditions for mushroom growth. The growing substrates also need to be rich in nutrients such as straw or sawdust, maintain high humidity of 80 to 90%, and ensure temperatures of around 10 to 15 degrees Celsius for optimal growth of the golden ear mushroom. Inside advanced farms in Yunnan, modern methods such as controlled environments with precise temperature, humidity, and lighting settings are also incorporated to increase yield and quality. Visiting the yellow ear mushroom farms, we were all surprised to see bags of yellow ear mushrooms neatly arranged on the growing racks with bright colors. Each yellow ear mushroom is bright yellow, transparent like crystal. The production environment is controlled by computers to ensure consistent quality. At harvest time, farmers usually harvest yellow ear mushrooms by hand. When harvesting golden ear mushroom, farmers often gently separate each fungus without damaging the mycelium on the mushroom stick and the subsequent development. Only the fungus plants that have reached mature size are harvested. The undeveloped plants will be left and continue to grow until harvest. Golden ear mushroom is usually dried after harvest. Usually drying factories are also built on mushroom farms to ensure the drying process is quick without reducing their nutritional value. Chinese people also consume fresh golden ear mushroom, but the fresh preservation time is only within 1 week, so drying is the most optimal method. About 6.5 to 7 kilograms of fresh golden ear mushroom will produce 1 kilogram of dried yellow fungus. The preservation time of dried yellow fungus is 10 to 12 months. They are also easy to transport to all regions in China. Thousands of years ago, this type of wood ear was often used in banquets of Chinese kings. Today, golden ear mushroom is still constantly sought after and used in many high-class restaurants in China and around the world. It is also known as the gold of mushrooms to see how high its value is. Due to the high demand, it has created a stable source of income for farmers growing golden mushrooms. Currently, in addition to Yunnan, farms in Shanxi and Sichuan are also gradually experimenting and succeeding in developing this special type of wood ear. So, what are the rich nutrients in golden wood ear that make it so popular among the Chinese? In golden ear mushroom, there is soft gelatin, delicious flavor, beautiful aroma and color, rich nutritional content. In addition, it also has countless health benefits such as preventing fatty liver, reducing blood fat, reduce cholesterol in the liver, enhance liver detoxification function, treat heart disease, hepatitis, and tumors. In particular, golden ear mushroom is rich in amino acids and collagen protein. If eaten regularly, it will help the skin become fresh, soft, and maintain youthfulness. Not only is it good for health, but it also has beauty benefits. Golden ear mushroom is highly sought after in China, with annual consumption reaching hundreds of tons. Have you ever eaten an orange and unfortunately didn't know what to do with the rough peel? I guess most of us would throw away the peel and just enjoy the flesh. But wait! Today, I'm gonna bring you a very interesting secret from the land of the rising sun, Japan. Here, the peel of the yuzu citrus fruit, which is usually thrown away, has become a precious spice, carrying the unique flavor of this country. If you don't believe it, let's discover this secret in today's video. Yuzu fruit. Sounds strange, right? Actually, this is a fruit that looks like a combination of orange and lemon, so it is also called Japanese lemon. But there is a secret that not everyone knows, which is the outer peel of the yuzu fruit that makes people crazy. Although the flesh of the fruit is also delicious, it seems that all the essence is concentrated in the peel. The Japanese have taken advantage of this peel as a special spice, creating dishes with very unique flavors. Interesting, right? Yuzu can be grown in other countries such as Korea, Australia, Spain, Italy, and even China, where it originated. But if you ask the Japanese, they will confirm that the yuzu grown in Japan is top quality. The secret lies in their special climate conditions and traditional growing methods. To get delicious yuzu, it is not a simple matter. The Japanese grow yuzu trees in high mountains where there is a significant temperature difference between day and night. Yuzu trees have many sharp thorns, so farmers have to protect them carefully because just a strong wind can destroy the yuzu fruit immediately. Yuzu can be grown in other countries such as Korea, Australia, Spain, Italy, and even China, where it originated. But if you ask the Japanese, they will confirm that the yuzu grown in Japan is top quality. The secret lies in their special climate conditions and traditional growing methods. To get delicious yuzu, it is not a simple matter. The Japanese grow yuzu trees in high mountains where there is a significant temperature difference between day and night. Yuzu trees have many sharp thorns, so farmers have to protect them carefully because just a strong wind can destroy the yuzu fruit immediately. Yuzu is available year-round, but sales are concentrated in the months from November to January of the following year. Yuzu can be classified into aoyuzu, green skin harvested in midsummer and autumn, and kiyuzu, yellow skin harvested in autumn. Kiyuzu is said to be sweeter than aoyuzu. As a cold-resistant fruit, yuzu can be grown in home gardens and stored at room temperature for a few days after harvesting in winter. So, why is yuzu peel so valuable? Although citrus peels are often thrown away, yuzu peels are a special flavoring ingredient that is indispensable in many Japanese dishes. Yuzu peels have a light but very strong aroma, with a subtle combination of sourness, slight bitterness, and a hint of natural flavor. The process of making yuzu peels is quite elaborate. Let's learn how to make one of the most famous condiments from yuzu peels, yuzu kosho. This is a condiment made from fresh yuzu peels combined with chili peppers, usually green or red, and salt. It sounds simple, but the flavor is extremely unique. To make yuzu kosho, the yuzu are first transported to the factory, washed and peeled. The peel is then ground with fresh chili peppers and salt to create a special seasoning mixture. Finally, they are packaged in small jars and sold. This seasoning is indispensable in many Japanese dishes such as grilled meat, sashimi, or even in soups and sauces. After peeling, the flesh can be squeezed for juice. The remaining byproduct will be used as fertilizer for agriculture. In general, the Japanese have optimized all the uses of this special fruit. The process of making yuzu peels is quite elaborate. Let's learn how to make one of the most famous condiments from yuzu peels, yuzu kosho. This is a condiment made from fresh yuzu peels combined with chili peppers, usually green or red, and salt. It sounds simple, but the flavor is extremely unique. To make yuzu kosho, the yuzu are first transported to the factory, washed and peeled. The peel is then ground with fresh chili peppers and salt to create a special seasoning mixture. Finally, they are packaged in small jars and sold. This seasoning is indispensable in many Japanese dishes such as grilled meat, sashimi, or even in soups and sauces. After peeling, the flesh can be squeezed for juice. The remaining byproduct will be used as fertilizer for agriculture. In general, the Japanese have optimized all the uses of this special fruit. Not only a simple spice, yuzu peel is also a symbol of creativity in Japanese cuisine. The Japanese not only know how to utilize every part of food, but also know how to increase the value of seemingly worthless ingredients. They have turned yuzu peel, which is often thrown away in many other countries, into a valuable spice not only in Japanese dishes, but also popular around the world. Yuzu is a spice with deep cultural value in Japan. Its flavor adds sophistication to every meal, while showing respect and making the most of nature. Not only a simple spice, yuzu peel is also a symbol of creativity in Japanese cuisine. The Japanese not only know how to utilize every part of food, but also know how to increase the value of seemingly worthless ingredients. They have turned yuzu peel, which is often thrown away in many other countries, into a valuable spice not only in Japanese dishes, but also popular around the world. Yuzu is a spice with deep cultural value in Japan. Its flavor adds sophistication to every meal, while showing respect and making the most of nature.